If you wake up at 3 a.m. almost every night, hot, heart pounding, wide awake, and unable to get back down to sleep, this is for you. And it's not your bladder and it's not random. It's your body type. And by the end of this video, you will know what to do about it because the fix for one body type makes the other one worse. And you know the feeling, right? The room is dark, the house is quiet, and you're suddenly awake. Not drifting, but your heart is a little fast. The sheets feel too warm, and your partner is asleep beside you, breathing slow and easy. And you lie there wondering why your body will not do the same simple thing. You have tried magnesium in the drawer, the cooler bedroll, the earlier night, and still 3 in the morning, the same warm jolt awake. Let's find out why. Let me give you some context in case this is the first time you're hearing me say body type. Thousands of years ago, physicians noticed that people are born with different constitutions, different amounts of heat, fluid, movement, and structure running through the body and the mind together. They named these body-mind types after the 4 elements of matter: fire, air, water, and earth. You carry all 4 in a mix that is uniquely yours, usually with 1 or 2 in the lead. That lead body type shapes how you digest, how you sleep, and how you handle stress. So if you want to know your own mix, which element leads you, and what that means, and how to balance your constitution, I created your financial health assessment, and the link is in the description box. Today we look at what happens when fire leads. First, let me clarify. More than one body type wakes at 3 a.m. and they wake for very different reasons. So if you treat yours with the wrong fix, you might make it worse. So before anything else, you need one piece of information. How do you wake up? Do you wake up hot, heart pounding, skin damp, your body jolted awake while your mind is still catching up? That is one type, and it's a fire pattern. Or do you wake up calm in the body, but with your mind already racing, running lists and replaying conversations, and really you cannot switch off? That is a different type, an air pattern, and it needs the opposite care. Many women who wake up at 3 a.m. are the fire type, so that is the one we go deep on today. Fire governs metabolism, digestion, circulation, and the spark of life itself. It represents the principle of energy, transformation, and vital force. People with a lot of fire tend to be robust, creative, expressive, and dynamic, and with a great deal of enthusiasm, and they may need a fair amount of freedom to channel their energy. In the body, it relates to the heart, blood, and circulation. It is your metabolic heat, the pace of your metabolism, and the force of your stress response, your adrenal spark, the cortisol and adrenaline that fire you up and push you through a hard day. The fire woman is the one who carries everything. Intense, capable, always on, hard to sit still. Your body and your temperament run on the same heat, so this is not 2 problems, it's one nature. That heat that is a gift for the day, when in balance, it becomes the reason you wake up at night. The 3 a.m. adrenaline surge is rarely one thing. It is a stack. Several lows push your nervous system towards the edge, and when they add up past your threshold, you wake up. Your stress hormones are meant to be low at midnight and rise slowly toward the morning, to wake you gently around dawn. That rise is normal, but a fire type who runs hot, too much pushing, too much coffee, a glass of wine at night, a late workout, carries that heat straight into sleep. And when the clock itself drifts early from too little morning light and too much light at night, that whole rise moves forward. Also, nutrient deficiencies quietly lower your defenses. Your body needs B vitamins to build its own calming chemistry. B6, B12, and folate are cofactors that make GABA and serotonin, the neurotransmitters that quiet your nervous system. And B5 helps build the acetylcholine that runs your deep repair sleep. Magnesium is a mineral that dampens the whole stress response. Vitamin D acts on sleep centers in your brainstem and feeds the gut bacteria that make those B vitamins in the first place. When you're deficient on these vitamins, your deep sleep gets thinner. One more thing pulls the trigger. When your blood sugar dips in the night, your body answers with a surge of adrenaline to lift it back up. This blood sugar piece is one likely driver, not the whole story, but it's the part that you can control. And if you are in your 40s or 50s, there's a second fire running underneath. As your hormones shift through perimenopause, they disturb this same heat and stress system. And one curious note, if your worst nights seem to cluster near the full moon, you may be picking up what researchers have called a circalunar rhythm. So here's what helps a fire type, and it probably runs opposite to what you have been trying. You do not chase more calm at bedtime. You cool the fire, you stop it of fuel, and you start in daylight. Cool the system through the day. Bring in the watering foods your body quietly is asking for. Cucumber, leafy greens, zucchini, melon, a little dairy calls as well. And these are not diet foods, they are how an excess fire type comes back into balance. Stop feeding the flame. Coffee feeds it, so move your last cup to the late morning. Caffeine works by blocking adenosine, the molecule that builds up all day and creates your pressure to sleep. So block it and you remove the very signal that should be making you drowsy. And it lingers for hours, so the afternoon cup is still keeping your sleep light at 3 a.m. For a fire type, it is also pure stimulation poured on a system that is already running hot. And the evening glass of wine, the one that feels like you're only unwind, what gets you to sleep? And that turns on you. As your body burns it off 4 to 6 hours later, right around 3 a.m., it kicks out a rebound surge of adrenaline. And while it's clearing, it blocks your liver from setting your blood sugar so the sugar dips, and that fires adrenaline too. Cook a dinner that holds you overnight. Add protein and a slow carbohydrate. And by slow, I mean a carbohydrate your body breaks down gradually instead of all at once. A sweet potato, a little squash, a root vegetable, not white bread, not sugar, not juice. Those spike you and crash you. And the crash is the swing that wakes you up. The slow carbohydrate releases glucose steadily, and the protein slows digestion, so your blood sugar stays level throughout the night and never drops low enough to trigger that adrenaline rescue. And this matters most if you run low on blood sugar, you undereat, or drink in the evening. It is not for everyone, but for a fire type, it is often the fastest win. Test your vitamin D, B12, and magnesium levels. Deficiencies in these nutrients undermine your stress response and sleep. While leafy greens, eggs, and seeds help, food alone often can't fix a genuine deficit, particularly with our depleted soils. So get tested, supplement to match your specific needs, and lighten your body's load. And then cool the fire at night with breath work. Lie down and breathe so that the out breath is longer than your in breath. In for 4 counts and out for 6 or 8. The long exhale fires your vagus nerve and your heart rate drops every breath out. You're switching your body out of fight or flight into rest and digest. 5 minutes of that's more for a fire type than any amount of lying there and willing yourself to sleep. You also can lower your stress load with yoga, meditation, walks by the water, swims, anything calming done regularly. All these measures bring down your everyday stress load, so your whole system runs cooler in the background. Then when your stress hormones make their normal climb overnight, they're rising from a lower floor and less likely to cross that line that wakes you up. And anchor your clock because your circadian rhythm might be off, and full spectrum light within 1 hour of waking is what resets your master clock, aligning your stress hormones and boosting vitamin D. At night, dim the lights and charge your phone in another room. Screen light tricks your brain into thinking it's daytime, disrupting sleep and throwing your clock off course. Nothing here asks you to overhaul your life. Move the coffee earlier, trade that warm soup for a cold salad, leave the phone in the bathroom, lengthen your exhale during breath work. One of those on its own changes things a little, but that's not how things work. One steadier night becomes 2. 2 become a week, and the results don't come from one big fix. They come from small things that are adding up in the right direction. I'll see you in the next video.